just a lot of water everywhere.
As temperatures plummet deep into the depths of winter's chill, our aging infrastructure is also feeling the freeze. We'll explain what's getting in the way of making these water main break repairs, and it's a cold-related issue you may not have considered. We'll explain next.
Blast of cold air that's hitting southeast Michigan. Well, it's sending a number of drivers right here to stores to get new tires.
One little pothole bump and your tire's gone.
And Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson officially launching a campaign in hopes of becoming our next governor. The issues she plans to tackle first.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 5 starts now.
And good evening, everybody. I'm Roop.
And I'm Taryn Asher. A brutal cold start to the day with wind chills near 20 below this morning.
But temperatures are slowly going up, signaling the end to this really bad cold snap. Fox 2 Weather Authority Rich Luderman is here with a look at how high the temperatures will go. I don't think that even feels right.
We're moving in the right direction. How about that? Moving in the right direction. This morning, officially at Metro Airport, we were 3 below zero. The record for today is 10 below, set way back in 1970. And about a year ago, we were in similar territory when we hit 4 below zero. How about the numbers right now? 14 above, 13 in Lansing, 10s for Port Huron and Bad Axe. Still a breeze out there, but the wind chill's not as harsh as what we saw this morning. A lot of us are hovering just below zero with those wind chill factors. We're going to get down to 13. There'll be some occasional light snow showers for tonight and for tomorrow morning. Could be an inch in spots. Temperatures continue to slowly moderate into the weekend. And next week, we're back to the middle 30s. How about a full check of the 7-day forecast coming up in 10?
Well, there you see it. Crews digging cars out of the cold after a water main break leaves them covered in just a sheet of ice. This was the scene in one Dearborn Heights neighborhood on Monroe Street this morning. One neighbor tells us it was much worse before the city came out and plowed and then salted the streets. We're also told the car's owners weren't home at the time, and we'll have quite the surprise when they get back.
Oh, what a mess.
A mess, yeah, best way to say it.
You know, water main breaks have actually been a huge problem this week, especially in the city of Detroit.
City leaders say they're wrestling with a number of breaks that are a direct result of the bitter temperatures. And as Fox 2's Hillary Golston reports, crews are battling the cold and the clock to get them fixed.
Now, here's the thing. Once the Detroit River hits about 36 degrees, the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department says they see a significant uptick in water main breaks. And the thing is that the Detroit River is connected to a lot of local water treatment plants. That's part of the problem. Another part of the issue is because it is so cold, as soon as they make one repair, the issue is there are so many others that pop up.
It was just a lot of water everywhere, and it was coming up to the top of the curb.
So if you are braving these frigid temperatures, you'll be greeted by what have become maybe small-style skating rinks along the sidewalk near Cathedral and Rosemont. You're being more careful?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Being much more careful. So until we get off of the street, you know, just because it's slippery.
Crews are battling on two fronts against the relentless icy grip of Mother Nature, taking frequent breaks to prevent frostbite, and against the clock to repair a significant water main break here.
Likely there's ice and snow already there, so we have to even get through that ice and snow before we can actually get to the repair.
That's Sam Smalley, the deputy director of the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department. He says all over the city, multiple crews have been working to get the job done, and even then, they're having to stem the tide until they can get a little help from warming weather this weekend. It's just too cold.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Smalley says don't forget about the water service lines going to your house. They can easily freeze in these frigid temps. He recommends keeping the water constantly moving.
Even if it's just a drip, drip, drip.
And that's all it takes, a drip, drip, drip from a bathroom or kitchen faucet. So what about our aging infrastructure? Well, DWSD says, of course, that plays a role. Many of these water mains date back to the early 1900s and are made of cast iron. Now, of course, they're making upgrades as they get to them, but they do intervene if they see a water main breaking repeatedly. In Detroit, Hillary Golston, Fox 2 News.
Well, the cold weather also wearing on our cars.
And people we spoke to today say that they saw several drivers pulled over on the highway this morning. And Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly digs into the weather-related challenges that could throw a wrench in your next commute.
On both sides of the highway on the shoulders, there's probably like 15 to 20 cars on each with multiple flats.
And as Derek Reynolds drove to work Wednesday morning, he prayed he would not be next.
And I get to work and find out that it did happen. So here I am now getting 2 new tires.
MDOT tells Fox 2 courtesy vans helped 4 cars near westbound 696 near Farmington Road, but crews could not find any debris or issues that caused those flats. But it's flats like the 2 Derek is dealing with that's sending many drivers in Metro Detroit to auto repair shops like this one in Detroit, where phones continue to ring for service. What are the most problems with the tires?
Slow leaks, nails, potholes.
And cold weather conditions don't help.
This cold, it shrinks the air down. So now your tire is deflated. Now you're driving on it like this, you're wearing the tread down, you're bending the belts, and they end up getting flat tires.
And now you're on the side of the road.
One little pothole, bump, and your tire's gone. So your tire goes flat, you're not going anywhere.
And when your tire goes flat, your vehicle may experience even more damage.
Flat tire damage can damage your control arm, here, can damage the CV axle, damage the struts. Inner and outer tie rods here that can be significantly damaged due to a flat tire and a pothole.
Mechanics say take your vehicle to an auto shop and have your tires checked as part of winter maintenance.
Just take care of your tires. You know it's getting cold.
Just drive safe and come on down. We got you. We'll take care of you. We'll give you the best deal possible.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Now to an update in the case of a missing Warren mom, Ashley Elkins. Her ex-boyfriend now likely to remain behind bars after a judge declined to lower his bond. DeAndre Booker appearing in court virtually today as his attorney argued for the release. Booker is charged with lying to police in connection to Elkins' disappearance and is currently being held on a $250,000 bond. And while the judge acknowledged his bond was extraordinarily high, he says it would not be lowered given the facts of the case. Booker's expected back in court next month for a probable cause hearing.
Well, the first Democrat joins the race for governor, and it is Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. We get more on today's announcement from Fox 2's Tim Skubic.
She has run in 34 marathons over the years, and now she launches the most challenging political run of her life. 47-year-old Democrat Jocelyn Benson wants this.
I'll be running for governor of Michigan.
In her head, Jocelyn Benson has been running for governor for years, and now she's the first Democrat to formally get in the hunt. She wants the government to be more efficient and transparent, and she wants to try this for Michigan citizens if they'll elect her.
Trying to figure out how to save our residents time, save them money, and make all of our state agencies work efficiently and effectively.
One way to help voters, give them a tax cut. And while many Republicans willingly promised never to raise taxes if elected, Secretary Benson was not ready to sign or not sign the so-called no-tax pledge.
I'll consider it, and we'll look into it, and I'll let you know our answer as we move forward into the campaign. Taking pledges at this moment may not be the right way to go in that direction.
After the scrum, she added that the no-tax pledge, quote, appears gimmicky, and she just wanted to be the best governor she could be. On another front, Ms. Benson is also concerned about the rhetoric coming out of the new president, and she is concerned about deportations. But if the president wanted the Michigan State Police to help deport illegal immigrants as governor, would she agree?
If someone tries to come to take away the rights and freedoms of our residents, I'll be there to stand in the way.
So if he asked for the state police, you would say no?
We'll have to, I don't want to go into too many hypotheticals on that.
Well, it's not a hypothetical.
Certainly, it depends on, again, the where and the why and the what and all of those specifics.
Republicans denounced her candidacy, claiming she was an ineffective Secretary of State and therefore won't make a very good governor. But she just laughed it off as she now begins this marathon run for governor. The marathon runs 652 days from today. In Lansing, Tim Skubic, Fox 2 News.
And now that Benson is in the race, we're asking you on our website, fox2detroit.com, whether she, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan, or Senate Minority Leader, a Republican, Eric Nesbitt, would be a better choice if elected. Scan the QR code. So far, most of you say it's Nesbitt. By the way, Benson will be appearing on The Pulse tonight, one-on-one at 11:30, talking about her big announcement. Hope you'll tune in then.
Another one bites the dust. Big announcement today for the Lions. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn has a new head coaching job with the Jets.
Fox 2 Sports Director Dan Miller knows all of the players in this. He joins us now with what this means for the team moving forward. Can you do the next man up thing and the coaching thing too?
Yeah, they will, and they have to. They really don't have any choice. What this means is Dan Campbell has another spot to fill in his coaching staff. That was expected, though, as Glenn joined Ben Johnson and moving on and getting a head coaching gig. Glenn returns to New York, where he started his NFL career as a first-round pick of the Jets. He was considered the front-runner for both the job there and quite possibly in New Orleans, so no surprise here, as Dan Campbell said earlier this week that he anticipated that he would be moving on. Lions also lost defensive line coach Terrell Williams, who has agreed to become the defensive coordinator of the Patriots, and we will have more on all this coming up in sports. But bottom line, as you look at this right here, Dan Campbell, he was expecting this. In his head, he's got a list of people that might be able to fill this job both internally and externally, but some work to do now, and we will see if there's any other defections from this coaching staff as well.
Yeah, but didn't he think he was going to do that maybe perhaps after a Super Bowl win, not now, not before,
that would have been ideal, but there's no guarantee in that regard. And I'm sure, look, Ben Johnson came back a couple of times. He could have been in the head coaching running 2 years ago, could have been in the head coaching running last year, came back a couple times because they wanted to try to finish things here. Didn't happen. I mean, you'd love to walk out after you win a Super Bowl. It just didn't work out that way. So now they're going to have to find some other coaches to help them achieve that goal.
Sadly, Sheila, Dan, and the rest of the team have a lot more time, a couple weeks extra that they didn't have before to start this process.
But there's a positive thing here, and that's that these are good guys who are good coaches, and this is the goal for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to leave someplace that you put down roots, but at the end, you want to be an NFL head coach, and Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are getting that opportunity.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah. Thank you, Dad.